listening to Radio Connections with Pace, where it all comes together with your host, Gina Pagnata Murphy and Ebony Walton.
Well, we're back, and hopefully things will be going right. If you hear me, please chat in and say that you hear we're having some little technical difficulty today for some reason. But we're definitely going to try to continue to move on forward with our podcast as we got some interesting stuff to bring today and hope we have enough time to do it. So just chat in and let us know that you're back in and if you can hear us pretty good. So, anyway, it's Tuesday. And we're going to be talking about seniority within the city of Atlanta. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to all of us? And how do we get the city to acknowledge the senior people? So, as we're waiting on to get our other producer on to see if we can hear and get you all back in the chat land and see if you can hear us real good before we move on even further. Um, because we got some interesting stuff. We're gonna have some fun with it. Like, I don't know. Can you hear us now? All right. Hey, Spencer, can you hear us better now?
We're having the same issue. We're just going to have to work through it.
Okay, so is it really loud?
And I can't hear you now.
Is it buzzing really loud? Well, what we wanted to do today, because it's not going to work effectively when we have these technical difficulties, so we're going to move right on into the show as far as where we put off to next week what we were going to plan the surprise of the 90s this week, but that would be real good if you can't hear. And then we don't have all of our folks back in the chat room today. So, uh, what I would think that we could do is maybe, uh, I just hate it when we I don't like it. So we might want to just shut it down for today and send out a link apologizing we had technical difficulty and just spring back next Tuesday for what we were going to do today because I'm just not comfortable with this at all. Yeah, and we lost all of our people and it's going to take a minute. So the three of them back. But so what we're gonna do because it is not eventful for us if we can't hear very well because we had a really good exciting show today. And if we can't get this together, we're gonna just shut it down for today. And we apologize truly and
I have no idea. Can you all hear better or no? Because we don't want to do it if there's noise in the background.
And you can't hear us very well. She said, "Oh, I know, right? But I just want you all to hear us clear." You can
It's
hear.
just real low. So some people can.
Yes, you can
Very
hear
low.
very low. Okay, so let me do this. Maybe if I sit up, can you move the monitor around? Can you hear me better now? Still very low.
She can hear well. The volume is all the way up. It's all the way up.
Yeah.
But is there a buzzing noise?
Can you hear buzzing noise? Okay, so what we're gonna do? Okay, I was gonna try to bring in some in close so they can hear from the computer. I can. Okay, so um,
Okay, we just gonna try to go.
we're gonna try to go on further.
Buzzing
Buzzing
noise.
noise.
Probably jump off and see if it's the if it's the connection with your computer and my computer could be messing up. Log off and let me see if it's still a buzzing noise. Okay. Now, Terry, do you still hear a buzzy noise? Is there a buzzy noise?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's on this end.
All right. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look into. I don't know if the service or something. I have no idea.
Well, we'll try to do what we can, and hopefully that you can still hear us. But we're not going to do the '90s trend because it will be ruthless for us to do the '90s trend when you're hearing buzzing noise. But we want to bring to you and talk to you briefly about, and if it gets to the point where you really can't hear us good, let us know. And guess not for me. And she said, "LOL." What? Christian said she don't hear buzzing noise. So anyway, but we can get Mr. Croft back on.
Hey. No, it's still a buzzy noise, but it's not everybody's computer. So, but it's something. I don't know what it is. But you can jump back in.
Yes, and we'll go ahead and try to go with the show as planned and hope that you can hear enough. And we really truly apologize for this technical difficulty. But you know, it is what it is when you got Dollar General money and you're trying to be like Macy's, you know,
I don't know how.
or you got a Volkswagen Beetle trying to drive and act like you're in a Cadillac.
When you're using the whole equipment, is what you're trying to say. Is that what you're trying to say? No.
I'm just making a parody.
It just, I mean, things happen. We went to an
Yeah.
event, their whole computer was messed up. Things happen.
Like
Things happen.
yeah, like at
The movie,
the inauguration
yeah,
with the mayor.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Things happen. So the movie of the week, you guys, I think Tamara said to watch it last week, was Age of Adeline. And that movie,
Is that Adeline or Adeline?
it's Adeline, but I don't know. It was really good. It's the whole thing was she never aged. She never aged. The whole after her 30s, she never aged. So
So something's going on. That sounds like a science fiction. I might see
it was
that.
good.
I might write that down. Age of Adeline.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So do you think you want to try the bath?
I'm
I
ready.
don't know.
I'm
I
ready.
don't know. I don't know how they gonna hear. Anyway,
They can still hear it, just
but
not
first
very
before we
good.
get started, because we want to do this shout out. Okay, we're doing a special
Okay.
shout out,
Okay.
and we always got to do our prayers and shout outs first to the sick, and the shut in, the people that's experiencing. No, we're gonna do all of that because we want this going forward after our.
So this is Wednesday.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, you jumping in.
I did not say that. I'm podcasting. So let's see. Where we gonna? I kind of really want to get into.
Go ahead. Do
So
your thing
that-
right here.
okay.
Do
So we,
this.
first of all, we want to say, what we want to do is a moment of silence for everyone that's having issues, family members that are ill. You may be sick, going through some things. We want to do, you know, as we always do, our heads in prayer for a moment of silence.
Okay, thank you, Mania.
Okay.
We're gonna make it work. She started talking and then she stopped. So the moment of silence is what we're gonna say a prayer for those that have lost any loved ones or sick or in need. We're gonna do our moment of silence.
Go ahead. All right.
Now, you have to do your shout out.
Now, my shout out today, everybody of Podcast Man, and we want to give a celebratory congratulations to Tamara Williams, who has 25 years of service today with the city of Atlanta. 25 years. I thought I was going to 25 years. Yes, I've only been 22.
Oh.
She's been here 25 years. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Tamara.
Tamara.
That means you got to then get a hold out a little longer, right?
It's called seniority. That's what we're going to be talking about today. seniority, being a senior, seniority in the city.
She said, oh, her, yeah.
Oh, you running things.
No, I'm not. But just go ahead.
Computer that can't
I
tell
did.
this TV.
Because I was finna light it up. I was finna light it up.
Okay. So if you all we promise, and I hope you all can hear this. Oh my gosh. We were gonna do a song battle of the 90s. And we're gonna do, be patient. We're gonna do, you all tell me what you think if you like them. We're gonna do 2 songs apiece. And we're gonna start with who wanna go first? These are the 90s. My favorite.
Hold up. Let's pull it in. All right.
I can't hear a thing. I can't hear a thing. Y'all putting it on me first? Y'all let me have this thing first. I don't know. We go see. We go see if I can. I mean, this is hard because I only hear myself. But I'm gonna try to see what I can do to make it happen. I'm gonna try. Lord knows I'm gonna try because I really want y'all to hit this funk. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all already know. Y'all already know. If it ain't funky, if it ain't riper than a diaper, then it ain't no good. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody better listen to your boy Cross. Listen. Let's see. Let's see. I'm bringing this thing up right now and to see exactly what we're gonna play today. Um, so the first one, y'all, it's gonna see what you. Let's see what you know about this right here because a lot of people, a lot of people. This one right here, if you can hear it, if you can hear it, because I can't hear it. Can you hear it? First song. First song. It's gonna make you move a little bit. You know, understand what I'm saying? I can't hear it. You can't hear it either. I can't hear it either. Listen. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna shut it down right here because I can't hear it.
Well, that's too bad. You might need to, because I got one that I'm getting ready to play. Since we can't hear yours, I'm getting ready to play mine. Tell me if y'all can hear it. Can't hear it. Still can't hear it. What's the name of this?
She can get Christy can hear it.
Okay, so what we gonna do?
She heard it.
But what we gonna do? We're gonna have to pause this to next week because it's taking away the whole contextual thing.
Yeah.
Some of you can hear it, some of you can't. But we have a heck of a show today with this. So we're gonna have to. I'm sorry, y'all. Just that things happen. We gotta get it together.
And he said that was the 90s. He said that was the 90s. I didn't think so, Spencer.
It went into the mothership. Went into 1998 to the 90s. It was not. Yes, it was. Google it.
What's the name of it?
Mothership Connection.
Google.
Parliament Funkadelic.
No, because you can't confuse your voice with mine. Google. Hold on. What's the name of it? Mothership.
Connection. Oh, you don't trust me?
Spencer.
Spencer, you know Parliament Funkadelic. It went into the 89 into the 90s. It was released in 1989.
Well, if you
But we were
read-
jamming in 1990.
No. See, she didn't understand the assignment, Spencer, did she?
Okay, well,
It's supposed to be
I
90.
bet you the ones that could hear was jamming.
No.
Y'all are parliamentarian.
So see there, we gonna continue on with the show.
Okay,
We'll do it
so
next week.
we're gonna do it next week. So let's continue with the rest of the show where we can have a lot of you guys participating. And I want you all to come out there, come in with two songs and shoot it in the chat next week.
Yeah.
You know, for the night, some hot hits that we got to go back down memory lane. Okay, so take it from there.
All right. So the moment for positivity, or to be positive and inspirational, you are never.
You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Let's say that again. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. I cannot pronounce that person's name, but it's Malala Yusuf. Malala. Malala Yousafzai.
Life lessons.
Oh, here we go.
Value the things you have in your life. This is a story tells that two friends were walking through the desert. During some point of the journey, they had an argument. One friend slapped the other one in the face. The other one got slapped was hurt. But without saying anything, wrote in the sand. Today my best friend slapped me in the face. They kept on walking until they found the oasis where they decided to take a bath. The one who had been slapped got stuck in the mire and started drowning, but the friend saved him. After he recovered from the near drowning, he wrote on a stone, "Today, my best friend saved my life." The friend who had slapped and saved his best friend asked him, "After I hurt you, you wrote in the sand, and now you write on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "When someone hurts you, when someone hurts us, we should write it down in the sand where the winds of forgiveness can erase it away. But when someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in a stone where no wind can ever erase it." The moral of the story is it is much easier to hold a grudge when you feel wrong, but never close your heart to forgiveness. Sometimes we're all too consumed with our own emotions that we are temporarily blinded by hate or grief. Negative emotions will only bring you down. Letting go of the past and valuing the people that love you is the way to live a rich, rewarding life.
That wasn't one that had to make me get up out my seat.
No,
So that was
you
pretty
wanted
good.
exactly.
Yeah, I was waiting on
I
you to
toned
leave.
it down. I
Oh,
toned
okay.
it down. I toned it down.
All right. Well, I like
Did
that.
you know?
Okay, did you know? Why you want me to do this? Oh no, you ain't gonna make me look
Dude,
stupid.
it's not stupid.
Okay, did you know, per Ebony, there are 118 ridges on the side of a dime?
If somebody ever goes to Jeopardy, I'm telling you, I want some of that money. You gonna be
There are also 119 ridges on the side of a quarter, 150 on the side of a half dollar, and 198 on a dollar coin. I'm 118. Wait a minute. Hold up, a dime. Y'all pull out a dime. I don't believe that.
count you down.
Pull out a, here's a dime.
How many reasons? Who can count them? You can count
I wouldn't even know how to start or end it.
them. Exactly.
So I guess we got to take their word for it.
Can't take that word.
Wow. Y'all see that? It's a dime.
118, but you can imagine it's probably is 118. That's a lot of riches.
But I would have to have a serious microscope. But isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now,
Now, I don't know how we're going to do this because he won't be able to hear. I hope
he never can hear us anyway.
Okay.
Until he can hear us now, but when we want to bring him in,
Okay.
he can't.
So we're going to bring him in and we're going to hear some motivational tidbits for Women's History for this year. What I said? I ran through it. Okay, let me slow it down. Now is that time to get ready to hear some words of wisdom as he shares.
I don't think
his
he's gonna like
tidbits.
that. I don't think he's gonna like that. He's look.
Y'all, We working on the motivational speaker for our Women's History of the Year, the diabolical, the articulate, the amazing Mr. Spencer Crawford, y'all.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, ladies? What's happening? Listen. I understand we're having a few technical difficulties, but yet and still, we're gonna make it do what it do. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, listen. I want to comment. I want to definitely comment on, no matter how old you are. I'll comment on that once we get done with this. But we're going to continue with these ladies because this is you all's year, and y'all been doing your thing. And this week we're gonna have a little conversation. We're gonna talk about how you all have had some things to go on. I mean, and it's hard to imagine, y'all. It's hard to imagine in this country, when women didn't have many of the rights they do today. But it wasn't all that long ago. Y'all listen to me now, when things were very different. For starters, women were only granted the right to vote in 1920. Now, before that, they didn't even have a voice who shaped America's laws or ran the government. Did y'all know that? They were also barred from acts as practical and simple as wearing pants, enjoying a vice, like, if y'all like smoking in public or whatever like that. Thank goodness those days are all over. Listen, y'all, but the fight continues since there's a number of ways women still aren't treated equally to men. Of course, we come a long way, so let's celebrate our nation's progress as we look back on those surprising things that women weren't allowed to do just a century ago. Y'all listen to this now. 13 things women were not allowed to do 100 years ago. Number one is vote. My God. Number two, easily obtain birth control, y'all. Y'all know what they dealing with now. Number three is divorce. Number four, wear pants. Number five, join the military. Six, keep their maiden name. Seven, y'all, we just talked about that. They couldn't even smoke in public. Number eight, obtain property if they were married. Number nine, shop out with an escort. 10, work fair hours. Number 11, serve on a jury. Number 12, compete in Olympics. And number 13, own a passport if they were married. I mean, that's something else. That's something else, y'all. I mean, women have come a long way. And, speaking of women, y'all, we got a woman, well, she's not a woman yet, but we have another female that just came to us. I mean, she was just born. She was just born August the 15th at 1:10 a.m. Y'all, we want to make sure we give it up for Ebony's granddaughter. Her name is Lovely Marie. Y'all make sure y'all give it up to her. The baby finally came. She was waiting on that baby, that grandbaby to get here, and it finally came, y'all. Hey, listen, y'all. Listen. Y'all was saying something earlier too about, you're never too old to do whatever you want to do. You're never too old. The fact that God is waking you up every day is a sign that he ain't even through with you yet. So what you tripping for? Y'all, do you realize why you even here today? Y'all listen to your boy Croft, because I'm getting ready to tell you that the reason that you are here today is see what happened early this morning was God rode by in his golden chariot, chauffeured by the invisible wind. You understand what I'm saying? Dispatched his darling angels to touch you with the finger of love that optimally made your eyes open to the virgin light of this brand new day, which ultimately gave you the opportunities to do anything that you wanted to do. Hey, listen, your boy Croft just want to holler at you a little bit. I ain't making no noise, but we can talk about something. Thank you so much for your time this time. And until the next time, I hope it's better than the last. And as my dad would always say, you're never out of business when you mind your own. This is your boy Croft on Radio Connection with Pace, where it all comes together. Good job, ladies.
Happy
Thank
Tuesday.
you.
Well, he was preaching today, wasn't he?
Yes, it was.
He was preaching.
He did.
Go ahead, Crawford. Preach it.
So August is the month of course, little rugrats and the teenagers and the college kids that going back to school. It's also the International Peace Month. I think we have to pick this month.
No.
Well, it's International Peace Month or something. Catfish Month. We're gonna have to have some catfish. Hair loss awareness month. I,
We ain't gonna go
I,
there.
I,
We ain't gonna go there. Wait, you know where my head
you
went.
got a lot of hair
No, no, we ain't gonna go there though. That was that lady with that slap. Anyway,
Romance Awareness Month, Water Quality Month, and Eye Exam Month.
oh, I got my eye appointment tomorrow with VA.
Good, good.
Yeah, for my. We've been waiting 6 months.
That is good. Also, you guys, if you know somebody that knows somebody that needs a job, that knows somebody else that knows somebody that needs a job, the city of Atlanta is having, they're hiring, and this Thursday they're doing a career fair, August the 18th, from 10 a.m. to 2. The location will be at City Hall Atrium, which is at 55 Trinity Avenue. If you know somebody that needs a job, they want to work.
What they need to do, probably bring him a resume.
Mhm. Please
Make
bring
sure
a
bring your
resume.
resume, and you may be trying to hire on the spot, or at least make an offer on the spot. You know, but of course you got to get your background check and physical and all that, or whatever they do. But you might be able to go down there and get hired right away.
You might. And the blood drive is coming up, so make sure you guys, if you want to donate some blood, come on,
I don't even see your vein.
I got good things.
Whatever.
Is that how you do it? How you pop? I got good veins.
You
Anyway.
did that too. Ooh, I wouldn't show that to everybody. I don't know nothing about popping no veins. But anyway,
So, now, what we are going to talk about is we hear everybody talk about it everywhere. People get moved from one place to another place, and they were with the highest seniority, but they have to move, or they get changed from shift to shift. But somebody with lower seniority gets the better hours, gets the better sometimes pay. Just seems to be getting the better deal. And you know what? Talk about seniority real quick. I gotta find something.
well, seniority is what it is. You're not saying that you're old, but you have longevity. And that longevity means that you've been here, you're institutionalized, you have the expertise, the experience, the knowledge that no new person that comes in that door after you knows more than you. And a lot of I hear the new wave of what they call the millennials, no disrespect to them, of the new wave generation that's coming in the workforce now. Sometimes it kind of can be very disrespectful to the senior person. So in the city of Atlanta, seniority does play a real part, and it used to play a big major part. But it plays a real part when it comes to RIFs. If the city decide they want to do a RIF or reduction in force, and that's where your seniority comes in play. But before that, the seniority played a big part. You got longevity bonuses when we reached out to get longevity bonus because your loyalty of being here at the job for those many years used to be an honor. People that were retired. Remember, man, I remember back in the day where you would, when increments was there, and you come in at the bottom, you come in, they have step increases, 10 steps. You come in, and you might, depending on your expertise of what they need, you would come in maybe at a step 3, but you would never come in over a position of someone there over them, And so you go on and go on, and then when you retire out, you used to get a rocking chair depending on what department you were in, with the gold little City of Atlanta emblem in the top of the rocking chair. You would get gold watches. And I remember when the city departments every year did like 0 to 5 and then 6 to 10 and on up, you would get little pins with different rupee colors, rupees or diamonds, or we would get something They stopped all of that, and they need to bring it back because it gives you because you get recognized of your service, and the city of that department should down in there. They should have an honorary time and bring back longevity pay and so the ones back in the day that got the gold watches, that got the rocking chair. Boy, I would love to get those rocking chairs. Were beautiful, and I think Watershed was the one was giving out rocking chairs. And I believe if y'all remember some of that, chat in what we were getting.
I want to share. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show a little video, and it's about seniority.
Okay.
So we're going to share this video.
Waiting.
Can y'all see it?
Whoa, hey, Copernicus, why don't you navigate yourself to the back of the line with your feet and stand there with your shirt?
Hey? I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more.
We now return to cutting in line in front of Italians.
Hey, Copernicus, why don't you navigate yourself to the line with your feet and stand there with your shirt?
Hey? I've been
Well, first of all, I'm part Italian, so I take offense.
But when I saw that, I said that's the best way to define seniority. It's like somebody coming in off the street and they jump all the way ahead. We have people that are waiting to go to a different shift, different watch. But you will send your new people to the better shifts, and your senior people remain at the worst shifts. Those type of things, and for hiring, also when you do hiring, instead of using your senior people to be those. Let me read this right here. Seniority, I just got this information off of the computer, off the internet. Seniority can bring a higher status, rank, or precedence to an employee who has served for a longer period of time. Companies use competitive seniority for hiring or promotion opportunities. If your company uses senior system, you earn a promotion when you're the candidate with the most seniority. This is one of the things within the city of Atlanta that we have seen it's not being done. And if you look through the city muni code, there were seniority in there. Oh, the person is supposed to get the next in line. It goes by seniority. Off days, it goes by seniority. Vacation goes by seniority. If you and me was up for the same position, it's supposed to be who's been here the longest. That's who's supposed to get the position first. Now, if they're not qualified, it's a different thing. But at least it's up for the person with the most seniority to go ahead and say whether they want that off days, or higher position, whatever it is. And we've just gotten away from it with the city. And I've just been there for 11 years, and we started. They were doing seniority back then, especially with off days. But now you can't tell what they're doing anymore. They just, I guess it's friends who they like, or I don't know how to do it.
I'm waiting till you finish.
Oh,
You on a tangent. Because now we're talking about seniority throughout the whole city.
yeah.
The whole city.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look over the chats and see what they're saying. Go back to up to the top right here. I can't read that. Can you read what Tim?
Not anymore. They don't care anymore about the seniority of people. We are a step over and we feel like we're old and we don't know anything, but we are the people with the knowledge, and that is true. We are quickly to shut down. Yes, we got watches, pens, we got steps in our pay back in the day. Oh my God, true, so true. Yes. And when I ask for an early shift, it's always something. That is because they give it to their family members or their boyfriend or girlfriend. Agreed, friends. Playing around with the ARP pay also has not received it since it was supposed to start.
That's Miss Fowler.
So
And
yeah.
so we got to work on that with Miss Fowler because I haven't. She's in DOT, Department of Transportation. We got to do something with that today. I haven't got a response back to find out what's going on with them. So Miss Fowler, we will be trying to reach out to your team today to find out what's going on with y'all premium pay. To my understanding, I think the people, finance and all of that is going to be, everybody should be looking at their ARP premium on September 1. So I did get a listing from Watershed who's going to give the ARP premium, and we may need to ask for DOT list too. But let me say this about seniority. The first time, we used to be when positions came open, it would be internal first. That was the way it would go before it went external. And again, I mentioned this before, somewhere along the line, one of the leaderships or the mayorship decided they wanted to compete or have a competitive. So to have competitiveness of applicants, they decided to do everybody external. So if I've been working on my job right now, I've been at where I'm at for 18 years doing my job. Now we need someone else to come in because someone might have either resigned, retired, or left, and the manager is my next level. So right now that manager's position is open. And so now, with me being the senior out of everybody in my position, I would expect, I got 18 years of experience. I would expect to be the person that they will come to me and say, we want to interim you into this position. If you do a good job after we do the, whatever, or have the applicants open or have interviews, then we will hire you for the position. And if not, we will put you back to where you were, and there will be no problem. But if you were in that position after 31 days, they got to pay you for working out of class. That's the way it's supposed to go.
So did that happen?
No, it hasn't happened yet. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm just saying.
So technically, right now, we don't have a parks manager. So that position is on the city web for applicants to apply. But the sad part about it is for open competitive. So anybody outside, I'm not giving an opportunity first. I gotta compete with whomever's on the outside coming from Advance or Auto or AutoZone or O'Reilly.
You've been there already.
I've been there 18 years. I know the process. I know the protocols. I know the procedures. I know all of that. And even though these folks might have these bachelors or degrees that they want them to have, coming in don't know how to lead, and then you got to train them to do your system. And I just think that's just not a right thing to do.
It's not because, like you said, you already are familiar with the way the city works, how it works at your department. They might be well qualified for it. Not saying they're not.
According to paper.
Yeah, not saying they're not. However, they still have to come in and be retrained on how to do it the city way.
Yeah, because
when you already have somebody that knows how to do it the city way.
Right.
Why would you do that? Why would you open up to outside?
That's what we do. And so we need to start putting it back internal first. And then if you're not satisfied with what's going on internally, then you open it up to the outside.
Now let's talk about when you say internal. Say for instance, it's two of you guys, two supervisors that's up. Been there, one's been there, you've been there for 18 years, one's been there for 5. Let's say 3. Let's say 3 years. But they're really good and they have some other experience come from somewhere else. Should they still be allowed to even participate? Shouldn't it still be a time frame? Do you think?
Or internal. If it's no, if it's internal, that's all you need to give the people that's there no time frame internal, because it comes down to how you do on your interview. And if you have your interview panel the way it's supposed to be structured, where it will be fair, and you have equitable questions to know your experience and background. See, anybody can put anything on a resume. Okay. Anybody can say, "Hey, I got a bachelor's degree in jujitsu, and I paid for it for $500 versus spent 4 years. We don't know till they do the investigation. But in the meantime, when you have an interview, I can be good, you can be good. I'm here the longest, but I botch on the interview.
So, say for instance, you have your manager, your supervisor, then you have what are your stewards? What are they called?
You should have a suit. You should have a person that's doing the hiring for that position.
The people that work with you, who you supervise, what are they called?
They're storekeepers.
Storekeepers. Okay, so say for instance, you want that management position and the storekeeper one.
Now we're talking different levels.
Okay, so let's talk about.
We're
Well,
talking
they're
about
still
different
internal,
levels.
but they're internal to
They
that
have a
department.
right. They have a right to apply
Okay.
as a student because they may have hidden expertise.
Okay.
But at the same time, I have 18 years of experience.
So seniority.
They, so seniority is taken it, but it takes into account, and it's done by a point system. The same way in RIP is it should be done by a point system. I should get so many points already because I'm senior. But now when you start doing the interview, and I don't do good on that interview, and that other person does great on that interview, that's something to look at. Because I could still be there. Let's be fair now. I still could be an 18-year employee, but I still don't know my job
And not be good with
and not be good at managing people and leadership. And so it really depends on. But my point is, if you already hired with the city and been working with the city, then any job that comes open that's a promotion, it should go internal first. Because guess what? Now that we're competitive, that storekeeper and me got to compete with somebody from the outside. So it's still not fair. Okay? We can give a great interview, but this person might come up and say, and have what's desired on the job description that they want a master's in something, and I only have 18 years experience. I don't have a master's, but I got seniority. So, but they don't look at that. They look at, oh, they got a master's. Yeah, she don't have that. So let's move on to somebody else. Let's take them. Well, that's the problem. And DHR has to become very integral part of the interview process because on that thing, HR person should always be on the panel of any interviews, and it should be someone else on there that has no dog in the fight. All they're going to do is ask the questions and make sure that and write down what they think and how you felt that the questions went. Someone who's expert in that field, and the person that you're going to be working for or hiring to. So that's not been happening. We need to get back to the increments. We need to get back to internal. We need to processing first. And I just found out recently that if you are in an unclassified position, that the appointing hiring authority can just put a person interim without having an interview. They can make a person into that position. Now I got to investigate that further because I never knew that. That might be one of them. Yeah, that's what he said, but we never practiced that. So I have to go back and look at is this something that's safe that we need to do because that makes it where you got the husbands and the brothers and the cousins and the sisters and all of them. If I'm an appointing authority and they say, as long as you are my daughter, as long as you don't work right under me, you can still work in my department. But now if a promotion comes up and you unclassified, I can go ahead and appoint you in that job.
Yep.
Technically, that's the way it's going.
Yep.
And so that's a
That's not
problem.
fair.
That is a problem for me, for this union.
For family members to work with each other in the same department poses a problem.
Well, I don't have a problem with them in the same department as long as that department head is not related to that person. You understand? Because
Well,
you can have, like in public works, for instance, you have a commissioner, and then you have fleet the bureau, then you got sanitation bureau, and at one time we had transportation, but they're in DOT now. Now, if that commissioner, that person doesn't have a relative that answers directly to him or her, they got about 3 or 4 lines, that person cannot promote. That has to go through HR. Remember, the commissioner can say, hey, this is who I want. But HR has to vet that situation. And if HR knows that this is your daughter, we can't just promote her. We gotta do a, that's when it kicks in to do, we gotta, it's so much, um, um, idiosyncrasies, as you call it. I don't know if that's a word, but it's so much stuff that we're not going by the mission and the vision of this city to get the most work out of the best quality people that we can that you hired to do.
That's true.
So we need to look at going forward. How can we make changes? Because we're not knocking our family members out. Because back in the day, that's all that how you got hired, who you knew. And there's nothing wrong with having family members and husband and wives working. I mean, keep it in the family, make a check so we can survive. But we just got to make sure that it's equitable, that you're not getting special privileges under a regime because who you know. But at the same time, you got some relationships that's going on that get special privileges because you're my friend. And we can't stop that because we don't know who's. We don't know who's who. And some people are smart enough to get married and don't use they use their maiden name unless you know for a fact that they're related. You don't never know because we're not in the business to have investigators go and investigate. But the whole bottom line is we need to work on this union needs to work on bringing seniority status back. We need to look at it does state that in the code for RIF reduction in force that you get certain points being senior. We need to bring longevity back. It's already there. It's just a matter of bringing it back in use. Longevity bonus, and we need to look at these departments and or the city when you retire. We need to acknowledge and give you a gift. We got to be prepared for that. So make sure that you all stay tuned because we're going to follow more on this in order. Let's look in the chats. Okay, so where are we at?
Same thing I said. Hold on, no. I am overdue. I stopped counting after I just left it alone because my folks can't stand it. Same thing happens in our department. Hire outside people versus qualified employees.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Same thing I said. Makes no sense. Plus, we feel we need new management. Ones that have been there over 15 years got so comfortable and don't care to do the work of bad leadership. Agreed. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So true. Speaking truth. Gina is so correct. Gina, finance has been doing that for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, they don't need to be in the same department. Absolutely not, because they don't work. And they feel like they are. Now, I agree with you, Tamara, because what I've noticed, if they're in the same department, now you can work for up under the same umbrella, and maybe you're in a different department that they don't collide. But if they collide, this is what I've noticed happens. I'm a supervisor or a manager. You are in training or just came aboard, and I have a family member that works there. You got to come across my family member. Maybe you did something wrong with my family member. My family member and I, we're going to talk, right? So now I feel a certain way about you. I don't know you, but because of what my family member told me, this is my family. Now I got to talk with you, and it might not come right out, but it's going to come out in other words, especially if you are assigned under me in my department. You know, so some people are not mature enough to not allow those things to affect and not to be professional. They remain and
I just feel, and I speak personally, my opinion. I feel that your relatives should not be in the same department.
Yeah, I
Your
know.
relatives can work for the city of Atlanta, but they shouldn't be under like if you're in a hiring and
Yeah.
firing position. Just like DHR, Department of Human Resources. I'm the commissioner of Department of Resources. I should not have anybody working for the city.
You shouldn't, because if you talk
That's just my opinion. Because I'm the top of the line when it comes to personnel. And it's just something, but the traditional that this is a family environment because a lot of people are from Atlanta and that lives in Atlanta, and sometimes you can't get around that because we can't knock out family members because of their relationship, but we have to strengthen because we had one mayor that had his brother working for him. Now sometimes things can be a little stickly, but anybody we can offer jobs to them. We just have to put things in place where we'll be able to vet it fairly.
And
That's all we're saying.
and the leadership have to be a little more careful or aware that this is a family member that you have working. So you want to make sure you are stepping back and not giving those special privileges to these members.
That's right. And make sure that they have the ability to do the job. Because if they can do the job, then nothing will happen and don't come for your plate.
And the seniority, they didn't pass through seniority or something. But yeah.
So we're looking at this union. We're going to try to find a way to start recognizing our people that's in our membership when they reach their anniversary date. We don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, but we're going to be recognizing you on your anniversary date when you started working with the city, so that you can feel welcome on this chat. And shout out to your birthdays.
Yeah,
When
send
your
us your
birthday, send us
birthday.
a text because we don't have that information. But we do have the information on when you were hired. And so as it comes up on our podcast during that week, we will be shouting out to you if you want us to. So anyway, we're going to be talking more about the seniority piece because that's important. We want to see what's going on in the code and see if we can get this alive again and kicking with the longevity bonus and see if we can get some more legislation on people that's in seniority of these positions and get this increment back. So that's the big fight that we're going to be dealing with.
And if you have a story that you want to share about seniority that relates to that, you get passed up or something, send it in to us so we can discuss it.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for understanding our technical difficulty. Next week, I hope that things will be a lot better. So that we can do our 90s trivia and have our little contest, a little
Real
fun.
90s.
Anyway, so we're gonna make sure that we get that done next week, and we're gonna do a trial run before we get online. But as we bring this meeting, as we bring our session to the end, I hope we've been a beacon of hope to you. I don't see my teleprompter, so I'm going off my nose. She lost everything. I don't know if that baby that just got born, that old baby, that old baby.
The baby had
Really?
so old.
I told her they won't have an old baby.
She was just sitting there
They've
waiting.
been waiting on that baby for 2 weeks. Doc kept sitting there for
No,
a child on 3
2
months.
months.
2 months. Anyway, it was an old baby. Beautiful, healthy, but an old baby. Y'all know, y'all old school know what I mean about an old baby.
The hands were so real.
Yeah,
She
my
was
baby.
in that cry. I could imagine because she was just sitting there
I was
chilling.
doing waiting for him to come out.
She was
and say,
just
"I'm
waiting, not realizing you got to be the one to come. You got to start the process. She was just chilling, writing on the little wall with her chalk and what shade.
She enjoyed it. But we will be back next Tuesday, guys. Will you guys be safe out there? Stay away from the monkeypox. Stay away from COVID as much as you can. Even though their CDC has lessened up some stuff, still wear your mask if you feel that you need to wear your mask. Be safe. We're still out there. We need you. We need to see you, and we want you here. So do the best you can and stay safe until next week. You've been listening to Radio Connections with Pace, where it all comes together.
See you guys next week.
Love you all.
See
Take
ya.
care.
Don't forget the
Night.
job fair,
Yeah.
job fair blood drive,
And 90s.
and 90s next week. Have a good one, you guys.
Flashlight.